All right, the newest Lexus we have right here. It's great, it's beautiful, it's exciting, and we may be out of the shot a little bit, but we'll do our best. Ed, come here.
That's why I didn't get my chair.
When you're, I know. Ed's going to be our vision. Now, when pretend like this is a car, right? If you're a new church, what's driving the car? What is in control of the church? What should be the controlling factor of the church? What is the thing that gives it lift and helps it to go forward and be faithful? It's vision. So vision's going to be in the driver's seat. All right, vision. Brenda, come on up. Now, what is vision's closest companion? Who's navigating? What's navigating the life of the church really? What's giving it, kind of help and pushing it along? Because vision's in control. It's driving. It's giving lift. It's bringing them out. Who's going to be just right next to vision, lifting up relationships? All right. So we got relationships. Introduce yourself. All right. Let's see. Chinetta, do you mind coming up? All right. What's up, Chinetta? Come here real quick. All right. So we have vision and we have relationships. What would be the next thing that we need? And where would they go? We need programs. Where would programs go? Are programs going to sit behind vision? Or are they going to sit behind relationships? Who are they going to be supporting? Who are they going to be helping to succeed? They're going to be behind relationships. Because behind relationships is program, right? All right, so here's what we have. And your role is to what? To support the relationships of the church. So you're in the back seat. You're not in the front seat. You're not navigating. So you're in the back seat. And finally, who do we need here? Who do we need? Come on up. It's Jim, right? Paul. Sorry, Paul, come on up.
The chaos control.
Now, there's one lacking thing. We have one to go. And who's this? Management. And what is management's role?
Control.
No. No, management's role is not control. What's management's role? It's support. Support what? What is management's role to support? The vision. The management's role is to support the vision and allow the vision to take soar and to be lifted up. So you take your seat in the back seat. Now, in an ideal church, and as your church is maturing through these stages, this is what the church should look like. You have vision driving the car. Vision is the driving leadership, that the driving force. Relationships are navigating. You got programs of supporting relationships, and the management section is there to help the vision take off. And as you go through life, what happens when you hit maturity? Vision gets kind of tired, right? I mean, your initial vision.
Exactly.
That's right. The initial vision that you start out with is good for about a generation, 20, 25 years. But eventually vision is going to get tired. And so vision is going to need to take a break. So vision, get up, take a break. What's going to happen when vision takes a break? Because what happens when there is no vision? The people perish. They wander around. They have no leader. So what happens when vision starts to take a break? What's going to happen? No, not conflict. What's going to happen? Somebody's got to be. Nobody's driving. Who's driving? That's right. Management's going to take its rightful place. So hop up. Management takes its rightful place, and so all of a sudden, vision takes a back seat, right? So vision takes a back seat, and management is finally where it's always wanted to be. It's driving the car. It's in control. So vision just kind of takes a rest. And so what happens when management starts to take control? What happens to relationships? It gets
She already got it.
because who's management more used to? Who's management been sitting in the back seat with for so long? Programs. So at some point, relationships start taking a back seat and programs come up front.
Now we can work some things.
Now
We'll solve some problems.
We'll
say what's supposed to be done.
And the longer this goes, the more difficult it is for the church to be transformed. Because the longer the management stays in control, the bigger the management gets, and it's like that. Remember Spider-Man? I think it was Spider-Man 2, where they had the little. They were trying to do the fusion in the palm of your hand, and it just started sucking things in and got bigger, where all of a sudden everything was leaning in. That's management. When it's in control. Because management is designed to be flexible and supportive of what the vision is. But when vision starts to wane and gets in the back seat, it drives the relationships to the back seat, and all of a sudden you got management and programs driving the car. And what happens?
So is this the stage in the old days?
Yeah, this you're in retirement by now.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you were to say, now, if I were with a bunch of transformation churches, you don't have to. I guarantee you, if you were to present this to a bunch of churches, you don't have to tell them where they are. They're gonna peg where they are. They know where they are. Where are most of your presbyteries?
Old age here.
Where are they? You think they're here, or you think they're an adulthood where the vision's leading and the relationships are important? So where are they?
Old age.
Wow. So you think they're at old age? That's less optimistic than I would be. Every presbytery, any presbyteries that are doing better than that?
Childhood, yeah.
Huh?
It's not right up there in the childhood stage.
Yeah.
I gotta go to Presbyterian.
The childhood.
Some of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those ranchers,
Yeah.
I don't think they're.
They could probably be. Most of them are probably between empty nest and retirement. But definitely for most of our presbyteries, management is dominating. And I'm generalizing. There are some really good presbyteries out there that are trying to do some visionary things. But for the most part, we like our management systems. We're always creating more boards and councils and things to control the life of the presbytery. Now, as we begin to talk about the ABCs and how we assess churches and how you grow, if this is the model for most of our presbyteries, and since most of our presbyteries are the ones that are starting new churches, or if there's a church that's birthing you, it'd be helpful to know where they are in this. But do you see any potential conflict? Because what are you as new churches? What are your emphasis? What's driving your car? Vision and relationships. What's driving the car of the presbytery? God help us. You see some of the problems with the way we work and the conflict we have, and we wonder why so often these new churches and our presbyteries have conflict. I mean, it happens all the time. We used to have new church development conferences, and we had to really work through some issues when we started inviting the presbyteries. Because once we had presbytery influence and our new church development pastors, all of a sudden they started arguing, and they were in conflict, and they were chastising one another for not doing what they were supposed to do. And we really had to work through some issues of having presbytery people and new church development pastors in the same room. Because these two don't talk. Management, when they're in control, they don't want to hear about the vision.
They don't. Don't need to.
We need another task group or a council or a committee or something to manage and take that, and that grows over time. And it becomes less about what God is calling us to do and more about how we do it in our programs and emphasizing that. Thank you. Y'all can take a chair. Yeah, if you need a chair, take it off. Questions, dialogue about this. Does it make sense? Does it help in terms of understanding the life of the church, where you are, in terms of? I mean, to me, this was very helpful. I mean, just as from a knowledge standpoint, I know that my vision has a life cycle, that it has an expiration date, and it's only going to last me about 20 years. And if I think that may be generous for Presbyterians. That once I get on this downside, what I can expect, and I still have to argue with George about this, but he says, as you begin to revision, because when you're in this maturity stage, to really redevelop forward, you have to revision, right? But that's only going to last you another 6 to 9 years at a time. So what you're at, and you need to know this as new church development pastors, because it's going to happen to you at some point, that once your vision starts to wane, every time you're going to have to recast vision every 6 to 9 years, that you're not going to have another vision that takes you 20 years and has that kind of juice.